This is Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store. I have to say before we start this interview on a real personal level, a privilege to be here as someone who grew up watching yourself buying the £40 seats in the Gods. As soon as I was old enough for my mum to let me buying the pay-per-views to be sat here now interviewing you. Wow. A real pleasure. AJ, thank you very much.
To be speaking to you. Appreciate your time, dedication to the game. So what brought you into this work?
Well, if I'm being brutally honest, yourself. Boxing was always something that spoke about in my household. Sugar Ray Leonard, my mum used to love, my granddad used to love. But growing up, buying the pay-per-views, watching the undercards, that's how I found my way into the sport, and now I'm obsessed.
When we came up, I always said to Eddie, let's invest in the undercards and let's get the undercards popping, because let's give the people that are watching value for money. Absolutely. And, they'll always come back for more. And like yourself.
And I'm here now interviewing you, so best seat in the house, right? Look, I know you've done a lot of media today, and I know it's strenuous, it always is, so a lot of the questions are going to be the same as you've already been asked. But Jermaine Franklin, last time out, close fight with Dillian Whyte. A lot of people thought he was the victor in that fight. Have you had time to assess his performance?
Yeah. In terms of his technical ability, for sure, but not in terms of scoring. But the fans are never usually wrong.
I know you were ringside at the fight. What did you make of it yourself?
I didn't watch it from that perspective. I watched it like I'm going to be fighting one or two of these guys. But they both done well.
You're back at the O2, your old stomping ground, the AJ that myself, I grew up on, like I mentioned. Not for a world title this time around. Does that change your mentality, or for you is it strictly business as it always has been?
You know what? It is strictly business, because it's the way the environment shaped around you that makes it that. In the sense of, if, let's say I'm not fighting for a world title and I'm in the gym, but it's latsy daisy, like my coach says, get there at 12, we don't turn up till 3, and we train for half an hour because it's not a world title. But the environment hasn't changed, it's still very strict, regimented, and there's still a goal. Remember, a lot of fighters that train today aren't training for their opponent today. They're training for the world title in 10 fights down the road. So, yeah, it's still strict. We're not just training for Franklin, we're training for, like, what's to come next.
The O2, obviously, like I mentioned previously, it was where you spent a lot of time in the development of yourself and then going through the early world title ranks. Are you happy to be back and go back into that environment, maybe channel the old school AJ a little bit?
If I'm honest, not really.
Okay.
Not really. I much prefer Wembley Stadium.
Okay. I like the honesty, to be honest.
Oh, you've got to be in it. Yeah, honestly, it is what it is, innit? It's just like, I'm there, so.
Fair play. I like that answer, honestly.
Why are you laughing? It's raw.
KD's papping me up, KD, my man. You're teaming up with Derrick James. We obviously know an excellent trainer. Just firstly, what was it that made you decide to go away from Robert Garcia?
No, I rate Robert. He's good. The thing is, I looked at it, maybe that was specifically for the Usyk fight.
Okay.
In my view, he may think different, or Angel might think different. But that was specifically for a goal. That was like the memo in the camp. Like, yeah, exactly. And he done well. He done well with Angel. Angel led a lot though. Angel done a great job, if I'm honest. I can't forget Angel. Angel done a great job in that training camp. He led a lot. Angel, the only thing he's lacking is experience. But he'll get that with the fighters he has. So how I managed to now move on to Derrick James from that position is, this was just a personal decision for myself, without no goal in hand and stuff like that. It's like, what's right for me? And I felt like this is a good time to step outside of my comfort zone and go on a hunt for like something that I feel is going to benefit me. And I found myself with Derrick James.
Do you feel like the job that he's done, Errol Spence Jr., Charlo, and the sort of style that he gets his fighters involved in and engaged in and sort of there throughout the camp, do you feel like that's something that's going to be with you through this fight?
You see, I don't want to put any pressure on Derrick James, because it's not actually the trainers. Like, the trainer trains them, That's like saying the trainer that trains a keep fitter, because the trainer trains them, they can go and become champion. It's up to the keep fitter or the athlete to listen and take that vision into reality. So He's very, very good, though. Very, very good. But I'm saying the pressure's on me to deliver. And he gives me the right information, but the pressure's on me to absorb and do what I have to do.
The pressure is on you, but I suppose also, you know, he is the man that's there with you in the ring. Have you looked at his job specifically with Errol Spence and Charlo and thought, this is what could do me well?
To a degree.
Yeah.
To a degree.
I just wondered your mindset in going with Derrick.
Well, because when I went there, I remember what got me to where I got to in the first place on my career, and it was it was exactly like that, but a bit more in depth, and that's why I went there, because you can't forget the founding foundations, what get you to where you're going, what got you to where you was trying to get to, and as you kind of progress, sometimes you kind of move away from those foundations. It's natural progression. You try, like, you research new things, you want to try new things, but when I went to that gym, it was like the founding foundations that got me to where I wanted to get to in boxing is what Derrick embodied, and that's why I felt like, you know what, this is it, this is for me.
Only got a couple of minutes left, so I'll keep it brief. But just on the last fight with Alexander Usyk, your assessment out in Saudi Arabia, a much better performance, if I may say, from the first fight. When you now look back, do you watch it? I imagine, you know, how much does it bother you?
A lot, because what I'm learning is that, number one, it wasn't enough, and we have to give credit to the man, because his best that night was better than mine, and he got the decision. But what I'm working on in the gym at the minute are things that could have made that fight potentially better for me. You know what I mean? Not saying that you have to completely change your fighter, but small details make big differences. And that's where I feel like there's certain things I'm identifying now, and I'm like, damn, like, if I would have just, like, it's here nor there, you can't live in the past, innit? So, yeah. And that's why I've said, like, in life, like, I could chop it up with Jermaine Franklin, because I've gone through a lot, and I know a lot, and I'm going to use it for every camp moving forward. And he's going through a lot, and he's going to use that experience from the Dillian Whyte fight and move it forward, and that's why I think it'll be a good fight.
A loss is obviously a loss and a defeat, and you never want that on your record, but do you look at the second fight and see the improvements that you made and build from that?
Not the improvements, because, you know, when you say to yourself, you belong there anyway, I feel like I underperformed this.
Okay.
Yeah? So it's not like I've
That's the best mentality to have, right?
Yeah, it's like I belong here, but I performed here. It's not like I belong here, but I pushed myself here, and I'm going to come back. It's just that I underperformed, and I need to just get back to where I...
Just finally...
That's what I said to you. Why I chose his gym is because it took me back to where the founding foundations of what I feel got me to where I was going in the first place.
Just finally from me, on the heavyweight landscape itself, obviously, I say the top four dogs, yourself, Wilder, Usyk and Fury, all with very credible resumes in the last 3 or 4 years or so. The one that's been spoke about at the minute, Fury, Usyk, obviously, for Undisputed. I don't know whether you'll want to pick a winner, but how do you assess that fight if we do get it, mate?
No, good luck to both of them. I wish them well. It's something that I dreamed of, I worked hard for, but, you know, didn't get the opportunity. But since they're blessed for that opportunity, I wish them both well.
Anthony, thank you very much for your time. Like I say, I probably wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for you, so thank you. I'm truly grateful.
That's all on you, you know. Trust me, that's all on you.
Needed that inspiration to start.
Thank you. Why didn't you go to the boxing gym and try to train?
Because I like my food too much.
God bless you, mate.
Thank you so much.